I'm just wondering what you're doing.
I've just explained to one of the civic enforcement officers I'm filming.
What are you filming?
Anything I can see from public.
Right, and is there a reason behind that?
It's for a story.
Right, okay. Can I take your details, please?
What would you like my details for?
Because obviously in the interests of public safety and everything like that, when somebody is out filming and having a look around public buildings,
Right.
we have a duty of care
Right.
to check you out.
What, a duty of care to whom?
To the general public.
I'm part of the general public.
Yes.
I don't have to give you my details then.
Right, I can just get other people.
Well, other people, I'm still not obliged to give you my details.
I'm asking because
And
at
I'm
the
refusing.
moment, I don't know whether you are committing any criminal offences in this area.
I'm certainly not.
This gentleman is out filming and is pointing up, looking at all the cameras, and obviously in light
Identify
of...
the cameras up there.
In light of...
I'm not filming that. I'm filming up there. I was filming up there when this lady approached.
She opens with interrogation mode straight away. Even after Forced Awakenings clearly explains why he is recording, she still treats his reason as something that must meet her personal approval. It does not. Lawful activity does not require a justification that satisfies an officer's curiosity. Then she demands his details in the name of public safety and a supposed duty of care. That is a stretch. Duty of care does not give police the power to collect names from anyone holding a camera. It only applies when there is an identifiable risk, not when there is simple uncertainty. The most telling moment is when she admits she does not even know if he is committing any offense. If you do not know of a crime, you do not have grounds to demand someone's details just in case one might exist.
What's the issue?
There isn't an issue.
I'm just wondering why he's filming public buildings.
Yeah, why?
the
Well,
council
I'm
buildings.
perfectly entitled to film anything I
No,
can.
because we
Wait, hang
feared-
on, wait a minute. I'm perfectly entitled to film anything I can see from a public place, including council buildings that are owned by the public.
Okay, we have concerns about public safety.
And your concerns are?
We don't know who you are and
That's
what
not a concern.
links it is.
It isn't.
In the day and age that we are in,
Are you accusing me of being a terrorist?
I'm not accusing anybody of anything, but
Do you have
I
reasonable
am
suspicion to
duty-
believe that I'm up to
I think-
anything other than...
I don't know what you're
Right.
up to.
Go on to Google filming in public. It'll and even
Don't
legislation.
tell me what I need to do.
Right, well, don't tell me that I need to give you my details when I know that I don't.
I'd like you to move away from this area, please. Otherwise,
You need
I
a section
have-
60. You need to remove somebody from an area without probable cause. You need a section 60.
well, I'm concerned for public safety and what you are doing
Well,
in this area.
I've told you what I'm doing in this area.
Well, you need to move away from here now.
When the second officer arrives, you can see the mindset become firmer instead of resetting. Between them, filming a council building is treated as something unusual, not because of anything specific he has done, but because it does not fit what they expect to see. That assumption starts to drive the whole interaction. Her main concern goes back to identity. I don't know who you are, as if not recognizing someone automatically justifies asking for their details. It does not. Then she uses a familiar day and age reasoning, hinting at terrorism without linking him to anything real. Higher threat levels do not turn ordinary behavior into grounds for suspicion.
Move to the other side of the road, if that's all right.
You've obviously got nothing else better to do with your time, have you?
Well, that's not your concern. What I do with my time is nobody's concern but mine.
Fair enough.
Okay? Can I ask you to identify yourself? You haven't got any numbers on your pellets?
1,000.
1,000. And name?
Sarah Bainbridge.
And yours?
2629. You're also on body cam.
Yeah, that's fine. And you're based here?
Yes.
Yeah, excellent.
Well, I'm based out of Darlington.
Right, okay, excellent. Hello there.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Hello.
This gentleman is filming. He's now refusing to give any details, and
I'm not obliged to.
I can't understand why he's out filming buildings, council buildings, refusing to give any details in light of the incidents that we're having around the area at the moment.
And those incidents, whatever they may be, no concern of mine,
But
nothing
I
to do
don't
with
know
me.
who you
Well-
are, and I can't check you out.
Well, you don't need to.
Yes, I do, because I have a duty of care to
I'll
the
tell
public.
you what it is, mate. It's anti-terrorism.
There's no
Because-
terrorist threat at the moment.
But I don't know who you
what
are.
What do you mean there's no terrorist threat? At the
there's-
moment, we're still on high.
When he says, haven't you got anything better to do? The conversation is no longer about public safety. It becomes a personal jab. It shows the situation has moved away from assessment and into attitude. Then she brings up incidents in the area, as a crime somewhere nearby automatically places suspicion on anyone holding a camera. That is not how it works. You do not become a suspect just because of your postcode. When the second officer finally labels it anti-terrorism, that becomes the escalation move. A vague sense of discomfort is suddenly wrapped in the most serious category available.
There's no terrorist threat at the moment, and nor has there been over the past 5 years, towards any public buildings.
That's a lie, because there was one yesterday actually.
Was there? Well, I wasn't aware of that.
Well,
where was
there
that?
you go.
So where was
we
that?
don't know.
So here.
Yes, it was actually.
Right.
Yeah,
There's one to the council officers as well.
Right. That's nothing to do with me. No
That's why
concern of
you've
mine.
been
How do we
challenged
know
with
that?
Well,
Which is
were
why
they
I'm asking for your
were they stood outside with a mobile phone?
Look, we're not getting into this.
Well-
I am now asking you to leave the area because I feel that you,
On what grounds?
because you are alarming the public.
No. Which section of the law? You give me the section of the law, I'll quite happily move.
You just need.
Beg your pardon? I'm just a...
I never said one word.
You liar.
We're filming you as well.
That's fine. It's public.
Just stand
It's
here
perfectly
until you
okay.
move out of the
It's
way.
okay, perfectly okay to film in public, which is what I was explaining to your colleague.
You gave me your details, and I could
Right. So
be happy that there is nothing
my details.
untoward.
My details won't give you any other information.
I would like to check you out so that I am happy that I can leave you unattended on
You-
the side
you
of
can.
the road.
When Force Awakenings asks whether the person involved in that earlier incident was even filming, they immediately avoid the question. There is no answer and no explanation. They quickly change the subject because the question weakens their reasoning. Instead, she claims he is alarming the public and says she wants his details so she can feel happy leaving him there. That is not an objective standard. That is personal comfort influencing the decision-making. Policing is not about managing an officer's feelings.
You've got no actual reason other than curiosity as to why I'm filming to be stood here
I want
asking.
to know who you are
Well,
to
I
make
don't-
sure.
I don't have to identify myself, and you're well aware of that. I know the law just as much
very
as you.
shortly, I will to prevent a breach of the peace.
You can't prevent a breach of the peace
can prevent a
if
breach
none
of
was
the
going
peace.
to take place. I'm not breaching anybody's peace.
I have colleagues and members of the council staff who are very concerned about why you were out here filming in light of the incidents
I'm
yesterday.
filming a story. I'm not filming in light of those incidents.
Well,
Those incidents
until
weren't
I
even
can-
known to me until
I
you made
can
them aware.
Prove or negate either way. All I want is your details to make sure that no members of the public are a threat
They're
by
not.
you. Well,
My details wouldn't give you any more information about that.
people tell me every day
Well,
how good they are.
I'm
and that
not
they
saying
are
I'm
no
not saying.
threat.
Hang on, I'm not saying I'm good. What I'm saying, I'm not denying either way.
Everybody says all the time with interactions with the police. It wasn't me.
That's because
I'm no threat.
That's because your interaction, instead of accepting what I'm doing is perfectly legal.
She then claims it is about preventing a breach of the peace, even though there is no sign of violence, no confrontation, and no disorder developing. That power is not meant to be used as a comfort tool when people feel uneasy. It is meant for situations where conflict is about to happen, not for imagined tension. Saying that colleagues and council staff are concerned does not change the situation either. Concern is not evidence. They are public servants, not private landowners protecting personal space. Their discomfort does not turn lawful filming into a reason for intervention. Then she says she cannot take his word because many people claim innocence. That is a broad assumption used to dismiss what is actually happening in front of her. You cannot ignore someone's explanation by default and replace it with assumptions.
Is to cite laws that don't exist. Say that
cited a law that doesn't
you
exist.
told me that you were going to move me. You can't move me without that section, without the powers under a section.
I have reasonable grounds to believe you.
If you're asking me to move,
Yes.
right, and you can state me a section of the law, I'll move quite happily. That's a perfectly reasonable request.
It's fine because we've got supervision
do you
coming in.
understand what the current levels of threat at the moment?
Right, if there has
You know
been,
what the word evident means, I'm sure you do. You seem like an intelligent
if there
person.
has been a threat yesterday of some sort, then yes, I can understand.
Right. So
But
now you understand.
I wasn't aware of that until you told me.
Right.
And
So now that's why we need your details.
well, you don't need my details.
Yes, we do.
So do you have the details whoever it was who you spoke to yesterday?
You know what's going to happen, right? I'll tell you exactly what's going to happen. You're going to end up getting arrested.
For what?
Right? Listen, that.
No, for
we're
what?
speaking to a supervision at the moment, okay? based on the current threat levels and the incident that happened
now
yesterday,
we'll get an
that
order out.
ended up getting seized, okay, under the terrorism laws.
She keeps insisting she has reasonable grounds. Yet, when he suggests the simplest test, name the section and he will comply, there is nothing. No statute, no specific power, just silence. That pause says more than any argument. If the authority was clear and solid, it would be easy to explain. Instead, it remains unspoken. Then the tone changes again as the other officer becomes impatient and jumps straight to threats of arrest and talk of seizing his camera under terrorism legislation. That escalation is not based on new facts. It comes from frustration. You cannot fill a legal gap by raising your voice or by invoking the strongest powers available.
Your body cameras will also be made public knowledge to me, and I'll use them.
That's fine. I want to know.
I just can't see why you're being
Well,
so obstructive.
I'm not being obstructive at all.
Yeah, but
I'm
you
not obliged. No, there's no obstruction because I'm not obliged by law to give you,
Well, that's
unless
fine,
you
you can fight that in court then.
unless you reasonably assume. I don't need to because it wouldn't go to court.
Well,
You'd be looking at a lawsuit.
You're being obstructive. I don't care.
I'm not being obstructive at all.
care.
Refusing to give my details when being asked is not an
Listen,
obstruction.
You've asked for our details, okay?
Because I'm, as a member of the public,
Yeah.
and you've been civil servant, you are legally obliged to give me those details upon request.
You've obviously got nothing else better to do.
Well, but that's my concern, not yours.
Yeah.
If I was stood on the other side of the road without a camera, you wouldn't have approached me. It's purely because I'm filming. Filming is a perfectly legal activity.
Because we don't know why you are filming.
But I've told you why I'm filming, for a story.
A story for what?
For YouTube, for my blog.
Right, so who are you? If
I
you-
don't have to identify myself. And you're well aware of the law regarding identification, stop and search powers and procedures.
Telling him fight it in court is not confidence. It is bluster. It is the kind of line someone uses when they cannot properly justify their demand in the moment. Forced Awakenings is right to point out that it would never reach that stage if the stop itself is flawed. Civil action exists for exactly that reason. When the officer brushes it off by saying, "I don't care," it reveals the real problem. That is ego replacing judgment. Policing decisions should not be based on who is willing to take the risk. Then they try to reverse the argument by saying that because he asked for their details, he should give his. That is not how it works. Officers are required under their own professional standards to identify themselves when asked, but members of the public are not under a general obligation to do the same.
Fine. At the moment, my colleagues are on to senior officers so that we can have a power of stop and search to get your details.
Good luck with that. You're detaining me.
I'm not detaining you.
So you just said to me I'm not going anywhere at the minute.
Listen, where do you intend to go next? Because I'm just going to follow you, right?
That's no concern of yours.
Right, well listen, I'm just going to follow you because we need to speak to you about what you're doing.
You can follow me wherever you like,
that's fine,
but
alright.
don't tell me that I'm not going anywhere
Alright.
because that's a threat of detainment unlawfully.
Right, listen.
Okay.
Would you like to come back round to the police station
I don't
while
need to.
we speak to you?
No, I don't need to.
You don't need
No.
to. Right, where are you going now?
I'm not telling you.
I'm going to follow you then, okay?
You follow me.
Okay.
This is harassment. Yeah, so anyway, I went in to see him and basically he fobbed me off back to his offices most of the way. He did say that they would be doing some training over sort of data protection and dealing with photographers. Whether they did or not, I don't know. I didn't take it any further. I wasn't after them for money. It's not why I do this. It's just to show them as the bullies that they were, and hopefully they'll learn the lesson.